Welcome back to the Gardening with Joy and Holly radio show. Happy you have been with us today. Glad to provide you the program. We are in Season 7, Holly. Season 7, Show 1 will be with you through weekly through the end of October. So we thank you for that, and we look forward to learning more about who you are.
Sometimes I can't believe we're in our 7th season already.
7th season, yep.
Season.
Yep, 20 stations in parts of 26 states. Well, Holly, we got, first of all, if you've got a question, it's time for question and answer. If you want to be part of that, you can give us a call at 1-800-927-SHOW. That's 1-800-927-7469. Or if you're not the phone type, you can certainly send us an email to gardentalkradio@gmail.com. That's gardentalkradio@gmail.com, and we will get an answer to your question. This question, we'll start with the first one, is sponsored by Fleet Farm and fleetfarm.com, Holly. I have onions I bought. They're sprouting in the cabinet. Can I plant them in the ground when the ground is warm enough?
You can use the green off of the onion and then use the bulb the best you can. Onions are biennials, and they will go to seed if you do not know if they are long or short day or midday onions. So you don't want to save the seeds. You would just want to put the green parts in the ground and see what happens.
Oh, people do not like that answer on social media. On our social media pages, we've got a video about that particular question, and it is not, people don't like the answer that you just gave because, just plant it and you don't know what you're talking about, which, figure 10% of the population online are certified not nice. 90%.
Certified not nice.
Yeah.
No, I agree. And there's people that just will be critical to be critical because
right.
They're just miserable people.
That's who they are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if, 14 universities and 7 scientists say that, hey, this is not what you do. It doesn't matter. But yeah, the seeds, you don't know where they're coming from. Now, if you have grown that onion yourself from a start, that you started, and it is going to seed in the cupboard, then you could put that in the ground to get it to put more seeds on so you can grow more next year. Yes. But if it's just random sweet dahlia or walla from who knows where, not going to be a good thing.
All right. So the next question is,
yes.
Is there a type of wood that is best for making raised beds?
All right. Yes. If people are upset at that last question, they're going to be more upset at this one. Typically, you hear the answer, Western red cedar is the go-to wood for making raised beds because it's rot resistant. However, it is a very expensive wood, and it can be difficult to get a hold of. So there are other options. You've got untreated pine, which doesn't last long unless you stain it or preserve it with some type of stain or non-toxic paint, and even that gets you a little bit longer. You can use treated wood is another way. Now, it is treated with a copper chemical, not an arsenic as it was in the 90s. All of our raised beds are 2x12 treated lumber. Now, copper is an element in which all human life needs. You've got the periodic table, and copper is in there, and humans got to have some copper in there. Mm-hmm. But studies have shown that if you put treated wood next to soil, this was done in the 90s. I think Oklahoma Gardening on YouTube. This was an archive video that they checked the soil when they used arsenic treated wood. Next to the wood, a couple inches out in the center of the bed, the leaching was almost non-measurable, and that was with arsenic. So the leaching of the potential chemical from the wood, whatever you're concerned of it being, I don't think it's going to be a concern. Now, you can layer the bed with a plastic, but then you got the whole thing of, well, it's plastic, and now all this other stuff. So the basic answer is untreated wood, probably the safest. A pine wood, probably the safest, but you're only going to get 2-3 years out of it. There are non-toxic preservatives that you can apply to the wood in order to make that wood last longer. There are composite materials like the plastic deck boards that you could use instead of wood. However, then you're back to the plastic and what was used in that plastic, or to make what adhered that plastic to make that board. So we've used pallets that were heat treated and were not used for chemical transportation, and that has worked somewhat decent. The shelf life on those are much less because they're very thin pine or oak boards. So that's sort of an answer. That's our answer. With anything that we offer you in questions through gardentalkradio@gmail.com or 1-800-927-SHOW. Take it and do your research and see what best works for your area, because your mileage may vary.
Okay, so another question is, what does it mean when it says days to maturity from planting, inside or out?
Yeah, we see this on the label. Days to maturity, 80 days. Days to maturity, 112. What are we talking about? Is it from the time we start the seed inside in our cell, in our root maker grow tray, or what's the equation? What's the answer here?
It's from planting to harvest.
So if we plant a radish seed outside, it's 30 days to maturity. If we start a tomato seed inside, it doesn't start until we put that tomato in the ground and then start going. We put the tomato in the ground X day, and then we count 90 days, and that's when the plant should be bearing a produce for us.
Right, and that's why
you
don't have to start seeds.
Well, you don't have to start seed.
Because when growing up, we didn't start seeds. We just planted them in the ground.
Tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, they went
things.
Right in the ground, and that was it.
We were still harvesting zucchini in August and tomatoes in August and et cetera, and so I like starting seeds.
Right.
It's okay.
It's a way to get a healthy plant established, and then you can put that healthy plant in the...
But is it healthy? You got to harden it.
Right.
You put the seed, then it's like the strongest survive.
But then you may have patches where those seeds didn't come up, or something ate them because they were weak, or whatever the case is. So,
right.
All right. Next question here is: I heard and I watch people say, I have heard and seen people say, I got this for my garden and it was free. Where are you all finding this free stuff at?
I feel like this was a question made for me.
Okay.
So I taught Joey how to pick up free stuff on the side of the road.
Right. We still got the chair in the attic.
Yeah.
First chair.
Oh, yeah, that chair.
Yeah.
That's right. And I've been picking up free stuff on the side of the road. I watched my parents do it. I've been doing it for my whole life. So, yeah, you can find stuff on junk day. You can find stuff on trash day. A lot of people put their trash out, especially on long weekends. Mm-hmm. You have like a 3-day weekend, like a government, whatever, holiday weekend, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, whatever. People will put their stuff out after that weekend because they've cleaned up their garage, mm-hmm. etc. And you can find that stuff. You can also a lot of times find stuff now on Facebook Marketplace. People will have like curbside. Just because it's free, you got to scroll down and read the description, because it's the free to get you there. And it's at $50 for this and $60. Right. You definitely want to make sure you read the fine print on that. And even I believe there's still the free portion of
Craigslist
stuff on the Craigslist. Yeah. So that's another way you can look. Now you're thinking, my neighbors don't throw anything out.
You don't know what your neighbors got.
You don't know what your neighbors got. You also sometimes you might have to drive around to other neighborhoods,
right? And the rich neighborhoods.
And see, I mean, there's like certain neighborhoods that, like Joey said, the rich neighborhoods where they don't even realize what they're throwing out. We have a window air conditioner from the rich neighborhoods.
I got a radio alarm saw from the rich neighborhood. We got the shelf that the canning jars are on from a rich neighborhood.
Right.
So yeah.
And even if
thank you, rich neighborhood, you may be listening. Thank you.
Even if it's not the rich neighborhood, a lot of people are, always moving, always getting rid of stuff.
Here's the other thing, and you bring up your neighbors. It doesn't hurt. I mean, if you have a good relationship with your neighbors, if you don't like your neighbors, don't do this. Go over. Hey, Roger. Hey, Susie. I'm looking for this item. Do you have this, or do you know anybody that has such an item? 90% of the time they're probably gonna go, oh yeah, we got it. We never use it. Why don't you just take it? Because it's only sitting in the closet taking up space.
You're absolutely correct. People will give you their stuff if you ask. I mean, I've even had people when I worked in office. I work from home now, but when I worked in office, they would just bring stuff in and they would leave it in the
on the community table,
in the cafeteria, whatever. I actually kind of miss that sometimes because I'd like have a granola bar and be like, this isn't that good, and I would leave like 3 more there. But for a long time, there was a VHS workout tape that was in that break room, and it was kind of comical because people kept moving it around. But anyway, you can
make it a doorstop.
You can find free stuff pretty easily. You just have to know where to look. And I would say, don't be shy. You know, if you see some stuff on the side of the road, it's worth it to stop to look.
Right.
I mean, if it looks like old furniture and carpet scraps, that's probably what it is.
You can look, just don't destroy or make a mess.
Right. Don't make a mess. If you move stuff around, put it back. Don't make it so that you're impeding people's ability to drive on the road. But definitely, you can easily figure out what trash day is, and you go out like the evening before. A lot of times, people might have set that stuff out.
Right.
And even in some municipalities, they have like large trash days. Mm-hmm. Those are the money beats.
Yep. Real quick before we get out of here, starting seeds indoors. What is the best light on and off ratio, Holly?
14 hours on and 10 hours off.
That is what we have found to be the best success for our seed starting regiment, as well as we do have 700-day-old tomatoes, Tiny Tim tomatoes, that we have been growing for 700-plus days that continue to produce. So we do that light cycle, and it works very well.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.